What is it, my son?
Your Majesty, the corruption has reached the south gate.
I feared this day. We must secure all gates. We must find the champion.
Champion, our Majesty needs you. The corruption has reached the south gate. He needs you to enter the Nether and destroy it once and for all.
Those days are behind me. I swore I would never enter the Nether again. It's taken so much from me, from my family.
I'm afraid it will take even more. It will take our entire kingdom. It will take our entire world.
If I do it, it will be different. If I do it, I'll do it alone.
Godspeed, champion.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 3 of my world tour. Let's head down into my nether portal room so we can visit the nether. Alright, immediately when we pop through, you'll notice everything so far that I have really done beyond exploring in the nether, I've been doing on the nether roof. And I know that's a little cheaty. I know Bedrock players cannot do this, but my idea is treat this as a bit of a flat world in which I will build mountains and landscape and terraform to make it look like a unique biome. Obviously, I could do that below the nether ceiling, but this makes it a lot easier. 1, Bedrock is spawn-proof, obviously, but 2, again, flat world provides its own challenge, and I was up for that challenge. So, without further ado, the first thing you'll see is this really beautiful structure, if I could say so myself. This is a very recent thing I just put up, and this is my Nether Castle, or really my Nether Hub. Currently it's empty in the interior aside from a item filter that's filtering Piglin bartering items, I guess you could say, because above the Nether Castle is actually a zombified Piglin gold farm, and we will tour that in a second. But first, let's enter the castle and let's show you guys what's going on. So the castle is completely constructed from black stone, red nether brick, and that's pretty much it. You know, obviously you have your lanterns and dark oak and what have you. But here is the Piglin bartering farm. These guys are kind of loud. I think there's about 6 of them in there, and the 6 of them keep up pretty well. Once in a while, I'll have some ingots left, but for the most part, they keep up pretty well. So I have every single item that they barter organized right here. The Miscellaneous is for non-stackable items, which I think I just emptied out. Yeah, so essentially the only thing I really keep unstackable is the Soul Speed 3 books. Other than that, I pretty much toss everything. What else do we have? Here's some of the ingots that are left. Like when I really start running the farm, these guys will let a few ingots slip by. I could add another piglin, but I just really can't be bothered to go through the hassle. And then I have the fire charges, string, blah, blah, blah. Originally, I actually created this farm to get the supplies, to get the blocks, to build the castle. I didn't have enough blackstone, and I didn't have enough nether brick. One word of recommendation, nether bricks, these guys, they trade for them, obviously, they give them, but it just takes so many, you're better off just hitting up a forest and just taking down some of the columns. Blackstone, however, they trade a very good quantity. You get a really good deal from these guys for blackstone, given it is connected to, a unending source of gold. It has a few wings, I think 3 wings, all, again, empty. I did manage to decorate with a little bit of the crimson vines, but for the most part, it's pretty empty. These corners are empty as well. They just are basically a way for me to cover the lights or the windows from the outside. Not too much to see from the inside except for the Piglin bartering setup, which I am going to surround with a dark oak scaffolding so I can get up and down easily, because currently it is a bit of a pain to get up and down. Let's fly up to the gold farm now. Currently, this is the only way to get up to the gold farm. 2 is just to fly to it, which I will get a wind charge launcher. I actually have a wind charge launcher connected to my froglight farm over here. This wind charge launcher launches you all the way up to this AFK spot right up here, but haven't added it to this farm yet. All right, you can see zombified piglins are already dropping and making a bunch of noise, but the real magic of this farm, besides its cool look, which I'm actually not super happy with. I think the idea is there, but I want to flesh it out a little bit more, make it kind of look like a nether brick blackstone ship flying through the nether, powered by this weird, I don't know, umbrella Leonardo da Vinci kind of device. I'll leave that for another day. Anyway, down here, you'll notice the kind of the guts of the machinery here. It's a compact redstone contraption, I guess you could say, that I created specifically for this, and it is a unique design of my own. And essentially what it does is it takes all the drops from the zombified piglins. Obviously, the most of those drops are rotten flesh, so these 2 item sorters right here are sorting out the rotten flesh and then immediately discarding those into a cauldron filled with lava. Here's a dropper right here, and it just kind of runs really quickly with a clock on it and pops those into that cauldron to get rid of them. After that, there's gold ingots. Gold ingots will funnel down directly into the bartering farm below, and then gold nuggets. Gold nuggets will enter basically a crafter and then get turned into a gold ingot and then funnel down. And then there's the swords. So the gold swords will get smelted in this blast furnace, which is powered by coal, and all the coal comes from my wither skeleton farm. And then those nuggets that are the result of smelting the swords will then be combined into ingots using the same crafter setup that the original nuggets that fall. Sorry, I'm having a difficult time concentrating with all the noise up there. So they will combine and then fall as ingots as well. So I think it's fairly compact. I could probably make it more compact. Of course, everything can always be made more compact, it seems. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. It turned out pretty cool. This is a clock for just the dropper for the ingots, the final stage, so to speak. Here is a smite sword, smite 5 sword. I used to kill them so I can one-shot each one of them, because they do fall through powdered snow, because I do want to ensure that they're alive when they land down here. Another thing to note on this farm is that it is only, 5 layers? Or 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. It's not the greatest output. I know that people add like 8, 9, 10 layers or what have you. But if you build from the top, from the actual height limit of the nether ceiling, and then go 5 layers down with 2 layers in between, it gives you a nice height so not many things can spawn below. So you don't have as much lighting up or putting down buttons and what have you below the nether ceiling. So I really only have a small pocket that I have to worry about when it comes to that. Actually, let's review that really quick because you guys might be interested in that. So I'm going to turn on Mini HUD, despawn sphere. Anything beyond this circle, a mob will despawn. So as you can see, as I go down, for the most part, you can see there's a few areas here and there that I still have to clear up. Let me take this night vision potion so you can see a little better. For the most part, there's very little space that can be spawnable. Actually, the worst of it was these tunnels that I built when I originally got into the Nether to transport around. Jeez, and these guys. It's because they're all carrying blocks. But yeah, so that makes it so those, even though it's only 4 layers, pretty much the only place any mobs can spawn are on those magma blocks when I'm at my AFK spot. Or, it's not even an AFK spot, when I'm at my ideal spot, I guess you could say. It's a very efficient farm when it comes to spawnable locations. So let's just run it for a second here. As soon as I hit them, they aggro, obviously, and it's easy peasy. All right, and then you open this and get all the XP. All right, you'll notice there were a few items sitting there. I've been working a lot to try to get those items picked up as quickly as possible. I actually have 2 mine carts, hopper mine carts, constantly circulating around and then dropping them into other hoppers below those hopper mine carts. And that's just basically to pick up items as quickly as possible, because originally when I built this farm, it had nothing but hoppers underneath, and items were actually despawning, because when you really start running this farm, you get a lot of items built up right below the feet of the piglins. All right, on to the next farm. Right before we do that, let's just take a look at those piglins that we're bartering with, and you'll kind of see them in action as well. Uh-oh. This happens once in a while, too, where zombified piglin will spawn in this little space right here beneath each of the doors. So really, I should have built this structure, or at least these doors, directly on bedrock, but I just hated how that looked. So they'll spawn here, and then zombified piglins actually break down doors. I don't know if anyone realized that. I didn't realize that until I built the structure. So as you can see, what is being filtered out? Probably gravel. Yep. Okay, let's move on to the Froglight farm. The basic design of the Froglight farm is based on a pretty common design that you see on YouTube. I have 2 iron golems that serve as both bait and the weapon against magma cubes. 3 of each frog type, so I get all of the variety of Froglights. And essentially, the magma cubes spawn as large ones. They get broken down by the iron golems. The small ones fall through the chains and then get eaten and converted into Froglights by the frogs below. Here, let me step on this wind charge burst platform thing to get up to the AFK spot, and then you will be able to... Oh, I missed it. I really need to extend the lip of this so I can get in here a little easier. Coming in hot. Yeah, you'll see below, magma cubes are already spawning. Let's cheaty cam down there. And yeah, it's already working. It works pretty fast, actually. You get quite a bit just from a little bit of time waiting. You'll notice in my world, I don't have a tremendous amount of AFK farms. I also have a slime farm, and that's AFK. It works on the same principle. The slimes are drawn in by an iron golem. The iron golem breaks them down, and then they fall through and die via campfires, I believe. Nonetheless, I tend not to AFK in my world. I really enjoy actually putting in active time. So when you see, 1,000 hours, I think I have 1,100 in real life hours in this world. The vast majority of those are AFK. When I first started the world, I did AFK at an iron farm for a couple hours, but since then I've kind of shied away from it. So that is the Froglight farm. I am going to again decorate this mushroom-shaped building to fit a little bit more with the theme of the Nether base hub. That'll be in a future video. All right, that is 2 out of 3 structures. The only other structure I have is a wither skeleton farm, which provides both coal, bones, and skeleton heads, obviously. So if I need more beacons, that's where I'll go. Night vision potion makes the sky just look a little really crazy in the Nether. So hopefully this turns out all right in the video. The wither skeleton farm is quite a distance away. It is just the closest fortress I could find. I just wandered around for quite a while to try to find something that fit the criteria. I needed something that I could put a platform over a fairly large area. And here is the feeding chamber, and that's the kill chamber up here. This is a bunch of trapdoors with ladders. You'll see in a second. This did require me to punch a hole, remove quite a lot of bedrock. Right when you get the hang of that and you have blast resistance on all your armor, it's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, it did. I had to remove at least, I want to say 7 or 8 pieces of bedrock in order to get a 1x2 hole, which is what the wither skeletons climb through. All right, so let's fly up to the kill chamber so you can kind of see how this works. The kill chamber, I don't think it's at... of course I miss. Of course I miss. I swear I'm better at this game. I'm not trying to record. The kill, I don't think this is at world height or anything like that. It's just a significant distance away. So actually, let me turn on mini HUD so you can actually see. So they're already coming up, you'll notice. So basically, they come up, they see me, and they charge. But the inner workings of it are all below the bedrock here. I turned on that despawn sphere so you can see how I built this essentially. There's really no way to stop the blazes from spawning. You can get the zombie piglin to wander off this platform and go after the turtle eggs. And the nether brick walls are 3 blocks apart, 2 spaces in between, and that'll prevent magma cubes from spawning. Wither skeletons spawn. They're aggroed by a piglin right in there. He's terrified. And then they charge up this ladder. You'll see a bunch of them are heading up the ladder right now. They charge up this ladder, and then they just continue to charge until they reach me. And when they see me, they aggro on me, and then fall into this this little chamber right here. A smite sword will kill most of them in one hit, clearing them out pretty quickly. Sometimes I do get drops that will fall down the ladder or get stuck, but essentially it's produces quite a bit. In just a little session here, I will have 3 heads in no time. Yeah, but as you can see from that spawning platform is exactly the circumference of the despawn sphere for my kind of standing spot, my kill spot or what have you. So this is the only area in which mobs can spawn. I went ahead and cleared out all the rest of the spawnable area around here. It wasn't that much. That's why I searched so long to find this specific fortress, because it was relatively open around it, so it didn't require too much clearing out. There was like a little bit of a hill here, and I think on the other side a hill here, and that was basically it. Everything else worked out perfectly fine. I know it's not the most efficient farm. People have like multiple platforms and what have you, but this required me to clear out the least amount of area. That was one kind of mandate. I just didn't want to spend a ton of time clearing out tons and tons of area in order to get the farm to work. And I do have actually a failed attempt at one of these farms in the nether fortress that's closest to my main nether portal, and that was just far too much work, so I ended up just kind of abandoning it. All right, so already we have 3 heads. Yep. So I'll take those back. I'll discard these swords. I'll take the coal back as well. Sorry, buddy. All right, that's it for the nether ceiling. I am going to pop my head below. I haven't done a tremendous amount of work down in the main bits of the nether. However, I do want to show you a couple things, a few failed experiments, so to speak. First off, this is actually the first nether portal I came through, and it was just suspended above this lava lake. Just absolutely ridiculous spawn. I had to build myself up in a way in order to safely get myself into a safe spot. We're right next to a basalt delta. We have a warped and crimson forest in this direction. But down here is where the first forest is. You might be able to see just the corner of it. And I actually noticed that when we first spawned in. So it was a bit of a lucky spawn when it came to that. The closest bastions are quite a distance away, but that fortress is fairly close. There's also a fortress right behind me, fairly close as well. So that was pretty lucky. But down here I have my first gold farm, my kind of initial desperate needed some gold right off the bat kind of gold farm. Where I oh, you got a flame sword, huh? All right. You go down this ladder. Let me switch back to my regular sword. Go down this ladder and you kill one piglin and then they'll all start funneling through. Let's grab these and put these in the gold farm, actually. I don't know how I have a gas tier in here. So that's that. And then the fortress shows a failed attempt at a wither skeleton farm. This is the fortress I would wander around here. Let me take another night vision potion so you guys can see. This is the fortress I wandered around to try to get wither skeletons initially, but it's just taking far too long, as anyone who plays. You'll notice my attempts at preventing spawns. So a lot of this is button covered. Again, this was specifically for the wither skeleton farm that I designed. This used to be a pier that went far out, but I've since harvested it for nether brick. So here's the bait. We have this guy, he's sitting here upset with me. And below this spawn platform is a little ladder. Oh, actually, the ladder's over. Whoa, of course. Come on, buddy. The ladder's right here. You go down this ladder, and that's the setup for a wither skeleton farm. This never produced really well, so I pretty much abandoned it right off the bat. But if you stand here above on the platform, occasionally a spawn will occur. And same mechanic, the wither skeletons get angry at this piglin, and they'll just wander in. At this point, I didn't discover the whole wall trick, so magma cubes still spawn here. This is completely enclosed in a soul sand valley. When I was researching how to build these, it was strongly recommended that you build in a soul sand valley because fewer mob types will spawn. But I find that really, I mean, you're going to get blazes because it's within the boundary of a fortress. You're going to get wither skeletons, obviously. You're going to get magma cubes. These guys are just unstoppable. You're going to get skeletons, obviously, and you're going to get zombified piglins. I mean, it's going to happen because zombified piglins pretty much spawn everywhere. Yeah, as you can see, the rates are just absolutely abysmal. We haven't even spawned one yet. And you wait here long enough, you will spawn a few, but it's really not worth it. So that's why I rebuilt that entire farm in a better location and with a better design. I went and cleared a bunch of the area around here too, attempting to get better spawn rates, but nothing really worked, so I just gave up on it. All right, let's fly back to our area. Ooh, here we go. Yeah, try me, buddy. Try me. Got him. Let's go back to our main area here. And that will be the end of the Nether tour. This is going to be a relatively short episode. If you couldn't tell from my voice, I'm getting over a cold, so that's why I sound a little stuffy. Nevertheless, I really appreciate everyone who has so far subscribed and watched and liked and showed me support on Blue Sky or on YouTube. I've really had a blast making these videos. It's a fun time to show all the different builds and all the different what I've been occupying myself in this game doing. And it seems like people are enjoying it. So I'm going to continue making videos. This will be the last video that we will be looking in the past. Future videos, we will be looking forward. You're going to kind of be with me when I'm, for instance, redecorating that froglet farm behind us or adding to the castle or doing all kinds of new builds, new farms, new stuff. This world, again, is my forever world. So I will continue adding to it and changing it and making it into everything that I want a Minecraft world to be. All right. And with that, signing off. Have a great one. Yeah, they like to get stuck if I don't start killing them right away. Let's see if we can. Oh no! Oh great! All right, all right. I'm going to die here.